Hi everyone, in this video I will be modeling how to provide multiple interesting examples and analogies in the classroom. This is one of the indicators in our Access component of culturally responsive teaching. The context for this activity is factoring and distributing. An example of this is this equation right here. I have 2 times the quantity x plus 3y minus 4, and that is equal to 2x plus 6y minus 8 if I distribute the 2 like so. Or you could think about it the reverse way as well, where I start with 2x plus 6y minus 8, and I factor out that 2. The first of my 5 examples is Wordle, a word game where you have to guess a word of the day in 6 or fewer attempts. The reason why I use Wordle is because a lot of the words that you guess have letters in common. For instance, consider the words shame, frame, and amber. I could ask students to identify the common letters in each of the 3 words and extract those letters from the words. Similarly, I could give students a set of letters to distribute into 3 different sets of letters to try to make different words. This example is great because it appeals to language arts enthusiasts, and it could also even bring in words from different languages for our emerging multilingual learners. My second example is ordering food at a local restaurant. I could order 6 sandwiches, 9 fries, and 5 drinks, but it would actually be cheaper to buy 5 meals, which each include fries, sandwiches, and a drink, and then order the other sandwich as an extra and the other 4 fries also as extra. My third example is word problems with money. Take this word problem for example. Kyle pays his T-Mobile employees $100 per day plus $5 for every smartphone that they sell. How much will Kyle have to pay 6 employees if they each sell 12 smartphones? Then I could represent this situation with 6 times the quantity, 5 times 12 plus 100. It might surprise you, but some of your students might be helping their parents run a family business or already be working to some capacity or just be more familiar with money because that seems to be a big factor in our lives. My fourth example is a magic trick, so consider the following. Think of a number between 1 and 10. Now double it. Next, add 6, then cut it in half. Lastly, subtract the number that you started with, and then I would ask you if your new number is 3. And the way we can understand this problem and break it down to figure out how we got 3 is by distributing the cutting in half part like so, and then you'll see that most things cancel out except for the number 3. My fifth example is cooking a recipe. So the following ingredients are for a serving of 1. 56 grams of pasta, 25 basil leaves, 50 grams of grated Parmesan cheese, 40 grams of pine nuts, 1/2 glass of olive oil, and 1 pinch of salt. The objective of the problem is to scale up the recipe to feed 8 people instead of just 1. And this recipe is actually for a pesto pasta. I would highly recommend trying this out because I got it from someone that I know, and it's honestly the best pesto I'll ever eat in my entire life, so you're welcome in advance. My last example is color mixing. Take, for example, purple, orange, and pink. The artist in the room might notice that the common color in mixing those colors is red, so if we extract red, then we would get red on the outside and blue, yellow, and white on the inside. This would be great for students to visualize problems. You might want to be careful about using this in class if you have a student who happens to be colorblind. So just be careful in general when you're using these supports. As for general tips, I would recommend using students' names on worksheets and assessments. I've done this in the past, and it's a great way to engage students. It also forces me to think of things that maybe the students would actually do. And I can also reference specific conversations that we had in class, maybe about this particular student or just sort of an inside classroom joke, something like that that connects to the classroom culture. The easiest way to make examples interesting is to modify existing word problems. The pro of this is that this is quick, but the con is it's not very rich. An example is the classic John bought 40 watermelons, and I can change this by maybe saying Nathan, somebody from my class, bought 5 4.9 skins. I would also recommend keeping up with current events/trends, and I'm not saying that you have to be, an expert in everything, but it's great to have a general idea of things so that way you know what to be aware of and what you might want to include in your classroom. That being said, the best way to look for inspiration is actually to survey your students regularly and get to know them as individuals. In conclusion, this is all meant to support students in meeting or exceeding a particular learning objective. Whatever examples you use, make sure they act as a bridge between students' strengths and the math. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.